The tale of the formidable hero Son Goku is known throughout the universe. He's renowned for his extraordinary strength and bravery. However, today we explore a tale that unfolds after the conclusion of Dragon Ball Z. Goku's principles and beliefs are thrown out when he receives a blow to the back of his head, which ultimately triggers the rise of Kakarot. Today's story is brought to you by Youngjijii and Omada Naoyuki. The narrative begins 2 years after the moment when Goku had first embarked on a journey with Oob. We're presented with a glimpse of the intense training regimen that the two have been undergoing together, with Goku having transformed into a Super Saiyan 2 state. As Oob unleashes a powerful blast towards Goku, he blocks it, but not without remarking that the attack had caused him to see stars. Without hesitation, Goku charges towards Oob and fires his own attack, which his opponent just so narrowly dodges. The two then declare that it's time to bring the battle to a close, and they both fly towards each other with the intention of delivering the final blow. However, as Oob approaches, an apparition of Kid Buu appears next to him with his eyes changing color. Oob swiftly moves behind Goku and lands a devastating blow to the back of his head, causing him to collapse on the ground while coughing up blood. As Oob moves in for the finishing blow, he notices a change in Goku's ki. At Capsule Corp, Vegeta seemingly bothered by something he had sensed, but he chooses to ignore it for the time being. Bulma starts to wonder when Goku will return from his training with Oob and begins to reminisce about the times he saved Earth. Back on the battle, as Goku struggles to rise to his feet, Oob is quick to notice that something seems off about him. With an ominous expression on his face, Goku raises his hand as Oob prepares to engage in battle once more. However, Goku abruptly clutches his head in pain. A change occurs once more, with the Saiyan appearing disoriented and lost. Suddenly, he's overtaken by an even more powerful ki, which Piccolo detects from the lookout. Vegeta's quick to rush to the scene of the battle, powering up into Super Saiyan as he questions what on earth Goku's up to. At Gohan's house, Videl brings him the Great Saiyaman gi as he decides to go check on Goku after sensing the same disturbance as the others. In other worlds, King Kai remarks that he sees no hope for the Z fighters, realizing what exactly had changed in Goku. We return to the scene of the fight with Goku standing firm, grinning with confidence. Oob starts to fly away from his mentor, trying to make sense of what had just occurred. As he looks back at the Saiyan warrior, he's met with a swift kick to the face by Goku, who had used instant transmission to catch up to him. Oob, now recovering from the blow, looks up at his master with a mixture of confusion and anger, questioning him. Why the hell did you do that? But Goku doesn't respond. Instead, he looks at Oob with a blank expression as if he didn't recognize him. Oob continues to address him by his name, Goku, but the Saiyan warrior is taken aback. Who the hell is Goku, he asks. He declares that he's the Saiyan warrior, Kakarot, and proceeds to charge towards Oob, landing a powerful blow to his face. Terrified by his master's sudden change in behavior, Oob turns and flies away as fast as he can. He realizes that Goku doesn't even recognize him and that he needs to let Gohan and the others know what's happening. But what's worse is Oob's limited understanding of Goku's Saiyan heritage. He starts to wonder who this Kakarot is supposed to be. His chain of thought is interrupted by a blast that goes straight through his arm. The attacker is none other than Goku. Oob, still trying to come to terms with the situation, fires a blast back at Goku, which he regards as weak, but something happens to his head once more, allowing Oob's attack to connect. Oob realizes that Goku is internally struggling with his identity, and the attack he landed to his master's head is what potentially caused this abrupt change. The two start to fight once more, with Goku having the clear advantage as he lands a kick to his face. Goku remarks that he had much higher expectations from Oob as a student. With Oob realizing that Goku isn't going to stop, that he's going to kill him, starts to fight with a sense of desperation. As Goku starts to charge a final Kamehameha to end the battle, Oob is overtaken by the same ki as before. An apparition of Kid Buu appears next to him, with Good Buu feeling the energy from a distance. Goku gets excited seeing this new power and tells Oob not to disappoint him this time, with the two engaging in yet another exchange. As the fight intensifies, Oob gets the advantage, landing a thunderous punch followed by a kick that launches the Saiyan upwards. He prepares one final blow, but it's then he's hit with all the good memories of Goku he has, and with tears streaming down his face, he stops. He can't do it. Goku takes the opportunity and takes his hand straight through Oob's stomach. His student falls to the ground, seemingly dead. As Vegeta arrives at the battle scene, he can't help but stare down at the beaten and bruised body of Oob, who he remembers to be the reincarnation of Majin Buu. Surprised and taken aback, he turns around to confront Goku and demands an explanation for his actions. Goku, with a smirk on his face, powers up and teases Vegeta into fighting him, causing the Saiyan Prince to transform himself. The two engage in a heated exchange of dialogue before taking their fighting stances and preparing to take each other on. Vegeta immediately jumps into action, firing off a Big Bang attack, which Goku manages to dodge with ease. He questions the point of firing a blast that he knew wouldn't do any damage to him, but Vegeta doesn't provide a response. Instead, he mockingly flies away. It's then that we see Buu standing over Oob's body, his expression unreadable. Goku continues to chase after Vegeta, but the Saiyan Prince quickly lands and turns to face him. Vegeta remarks that Goku isn't much stronger than the last time they fought, and that training Oob wasn't the most effective way to improve his strength. This has allowed Vegeta to close the gap between their powers. He then proceeds to ask Goku how much he knows about their Super Saiyan transformations, to which Goku appears puzzled and questions what Vegeta means. Vegeta starts to explain the transformation transformation, which may be a nod to the way Goku explained the Super Saiyan forms to Buu and Babidi in the Buu saga. He does some power scaling and concludes that Goku's power level is 5 billion, while his own is only 3 billion. He then powers up into what appears to be a new transformation, calling it Night Soul Vegeta. Goku realizes that this form resembles Vegeta's Majin form, but Vegeta brushes it off and the two start charging towards each other, clashing. Vegeta attempts to punch Goku, but his attack is caught and Goku reciprocates with a punch of his own, which Vegeta manages to block as well. The Saiyan Prince then headbutts Goku, but he retaliates with a punch to Vegeta's face. The two engage in a standstill, trading blows and smirks as they continue their intense battle. As Goku attempts to block one of Vegeta's punches, the Saiyan Prince uses a blast to propel himself above Goku while charging another one which he attempts to fire. Using his quick thinking and agility, Goku uses instant transmission to gain a strategic advantage over his opponent. As he teleports above Vegeta, he throws a powerful kick in his direction, but to his surprise, Vegeta is able to block it with ease. Pausing to assess the situation, Goku praises Vegeta for his impressive growth and development, noting that his power reserves seem to be far greater than his own. He goes on to speculate that Vegeta's new form might be that of a Mastered Super Saiyan 2, which I personally find to be a bit of a weird addition. It would make more sense for both of them to have mastered Super Saiyan 2 at this point, with Vegeta's form just being a form that he attained on his own. Moving on with the story though, Vegeta compliments Goku in turn, acknowledging that since they first met, there has never been a single opportunity missed by Goku to one-up him. He reflects on the time he was forced to admit that Goku was superior to him, but also ponders when the gap between them grew so wide that he felt it was impossible for him to close. Tracing back to the origins of this gap, Vegeta points to the Cell Saga, where Goku and Gohan had managed to eliminate the stamina drain caused by the Super Saiyan form, while he himself had simply focused on increasing strength and achieving Super Saiyan Grade 2. He admits that he was completely defeated by both Goku and Gohan, feeling so broken that he swore never to fight again. He was trapped in Goku's shadow and never able to break free from it, so much so that he decided to investigate Goku's past training and practice in order to find a way to surpass him. We cut to a flashback where Vegeta, with a sense of reluctance, approaches Bulma and asks about Goku's training methods. Bulma is taken aback by the revelation that Vegeta is investigating Goku and comments on how much he's changed since they first met. Annoyed, Vegeta turns away from her, but Bulma, sensing his determination, agrees to look into it further with her next visit to Kame House. She then looks at Vegeta and tells him that she believes that one day he will surpass Goku. Taken aback by her words, Vegeta tells her that he loves her. With some time passing, we see Vegeta next to Karin's tower. He flies up and speaks with Karin about obtaining the same training as Goku, which includes drinking the Ultra Divine Water. Karin, with a hint of skepticism, remarks that Vegeta won't be getting that training by simply flying up there. He has to climb the tower by hand. As Vegeta goes down to do as instructed, similarly to Bulma, Karin thinks to himself about how much Vegeta has truly changed. Never would he have imagined him following in Goku's footsteps. Back at the scene of the battle, Goku commends Vegeta for his dedication, having reduced himself to the point of climbing Karin's tower by hand. But he stops to remind Vegeta that he's forgotten that he can transform further. It's then that Goku starts to power up, becoming what he calls the pinnacle, Super Saiyan 3. On the lookout, Piccolo watches over the battle, commenting on how Goku has yet again surpassed Vegeta in power. He goes on to think about Gohan, Goten, and Trunks and realizes that they need to gather their Dragon Balls because of this emergency. Goku has become the greatest threat that the Earth, and hell, even the universe has ever known. The strongest warrior of the Saiyan race has regained his vicious fighting instinct, and his name is Kakarot. Chapter 2. With Goku facing off against Vegeta once more, we see Gohan spectating from the distance. He's shocked to see the two fighting so seriously and doesn't understand why they are. He swiftly takes off his cape, proclaiming that he can't let this go on any longer as the two could do some serious damage to Earth. It's then that Piccolo suddenly appears, telling Gohan not to interfere. Concerned for his father, Gohan says he can't just sit by and watch, but Piccolo's quick to mention that whoever his friend and Gohan's father was is not who they're looking at. This isn't Goku anymore, it's someone else entirely. Gohan remains startled, not understanding what Piccolo means, but the Namekian starts to clarify. He recalls the time that he and Goku faced off against Raditz and remembered him talking about Goku's sole reason for being sent to Earth, which was destroying it. From the memories of Kami he has, he recalls Goku suffering an injury to his head, which locked away his most primal Saiyan instincts deep in his subconscious. So unlike Vegeta, Goku never had the ability to overcome them. Piccolo goes on to say that Goku is a threat to all of them now, and they have to stop him. Goku is once more solidified as the greatest threat the universe has ever known, but Gohan refuses to accept this and even more so accept that there's no hope. Piccolo explains to him that Vegeta should be able to handle Goku for now while they gather their Dragon Balls. Gohan proceeds to question why they need the Dragon Balls at all, but as soon as he sees the expression on Piccolo's face, something that wasn't said directly becomes clear to him, and he flies away. Piccolo looks up at Gohan flying away and says that he's counting on him. He then turns to face the battle and says that everything depends on Vegeta's ability to hold Goku off. We cut to Goku smiling at Vegeta, asking if this Night Soul is the only transformation he has, but with an even wider smile, Vegeta tells Goku to find out for himself. He then starts to collect energy in order to fire Final Flash, which Goku believes to be insufficient to hurt him, but Vegeta fires it anyway. Goku confidently states that there's a difference between optimism and stupidity, proceeding to push the attack back at Vegeta. The Saiyan Prince dodges and starts to fire a flurry of blasts as Piccolo spectates, shocked at the sheer volume of the battle. Goku tells Vegeta to stop the pointless onslaught and that he doesn't compare to him in neither strength nor speed. Seemingly dragging the fight for unknown reasons, Vegeta comments on how mighty the Super Saiyan 3 form is. He then starts to once again explain the multipliers of the forms, adding on the Super Saiyan 3 multiplier, that being 400 times. Night Soul may remove the stamina drain and double his power, but in comparison to Super Saiyan 3, he's still 3 times weaker than Goku. He explains how their skill is practically dead even, and their reserves will decide who wins this battle. This leads Goku to question if Vegeta is admitting defeat, but it's then that he notices Vegeta is no longer in his Night Soul form. Piccolo also notices this and adds on that all of Vegeta's moves have simply been flashy with no actual power behind them. He questions what Vegeta is actually planning, and given that he spent over 2 years researching Goku, Piccolo comes to the conclusion that Vegeta must have something up his sleeve that he hasn't picked up on yet. Dropping a bombshell, Piccolo starts to question what exactly Vegeta learned when he went to King Kai's planet. We're then sent back to the flashback of Vegeta training as he arrives on the lookout and asks for the same training as Goku, and smiling, Piccolo says that Dende will train him. Vegeta rejects this training and is instead sent to Snake Way. He starts to fly, shouting, "Screw my pride, I'll do anything." Quickly, he rushes to Kaio's planet and gets there fairly quickly. As he arrives, he meets none other than King Kai. Back on the lookout, Piccolo is shown commenting on Vegeta's ability to pass King Kai's training. He believes that Vegeta won't be able to do it. Ditching his pride won't be enough to pass the unorthodox training that King Kai offers. Vegeta is shown immediately shouting at the Kai, questioning what the hell he just said. King Kai is quick to note that if he doesn't pass this stage, there's no training here for Vegeta, which leads the Saiyan to start to think of a joke. The first stage of King Kai's training is making the Kai laugh. In a funny scene, Vegeta quickly turns it around on the Kai, saying that he has to prove that he's worthy of Vegeta's time. He has to make Vegeta laugh first. King Kai makes Vegeta believe that his jokes are so good that they might even kill him, but his joke doesn't exactly land. Vegeta is able to make the Kai laugh after calling his test a joke, which to be honest goes to show King Kai's terrible sense of humor. It's then that Vegeta requests the same training as Goku, which starts off by catching bubbles. Not to our surprise, Vegeta manages to do this almost instantaneously, which is when he decides to tell the Kai what exactly he's searching for. He means to learn the Kaio-ken. At first, King Kai's puzzled. He remarks that the Kaio-ken doesn't make sense to learn. It doesn't stack up to Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 in the slightest, but it's then that Vegeta's intentions that are still unknown to us become clear to the Kai. He goes on to shout that he forbids it, and even says that Goku couldn't do what Vegeta's hoping to. Vegeta rejects the Kai statement, saying that he can and will combine the Super Saiyan with Kaio-ken, and achieve what he calls the Super Kaio-ken. Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Grade 4 and tells Kaio that he means to stack Kaio-ken on top even after being cautioned against it. Vegeta claims that only he decides to be the judge of his life, and he wants the exact same training as Goku. Back on the scene of the fight, Goku and Vegeta face each other, with Vegeta questioning where Goku's spirit went. He teases Goku to come at him, which leaves the Saiyan puzzled. He asks himself if Vegeta had found a transformation even beyond Super Saiyan 3, but what's confusing is that his opposer is only in Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta then falls down even further, now only in Super Saiyan, which Goku notices. Vegeta proclaims that Goku's instincts never fail him, and yes, whatever he has up his sleeve can indeed surpass the power of Super Saiyan 3. It's then that the Saiyan Prince shouts Super Kaio-ken, shocking Goku and Piccolo. Vegeta charges at Goku, who barely dodges the punch, with Goku proceeding to fire multiple blasts, but Vegeta avoids all of them, entering an exchange of close contact with Goku. Goku lands a punch to his face as Vegeta flies away. This leaves Goku to remember just how explosive the Kaio-ken was, but still, Vegeta isn't fast enough to escape him. He lands another punch on the Saiyan Prince and another sending him flying back. Piccolo is shown finally realizing what Vegeta's up to. He was stalling the fight to drain Goku of his energy so that he loses the energy required to sustain the Super Saiyan 3 form. Although maintaining a form like Super Kaio-ken is extremely damning, he hasn't managed to close the gap even with Kaio-ken times 10. Piccolo adds on that Vegeta's plan is simply outdated. There's no telling how long Goku will be able to hold Super Saiyan 3, as the stamina drain of the form isn't as big of an issue as it was years prior. The unfortunate truth becomes clear as day to Piccolo. Vegeta's going to lose this fight. The narration adds that Vegeta isn't fighting a man anymore. He's fighting the greatest warrior the universe has given birth to. Son Goku's will is like an impenetrable fortress. Just when you think you've caught up, he widens the gap yet again. Goku and Vegeta charge at each other, entering yet another exchange. Vegeta attempts to kick Goku, but using instant transmission, he vanishes. Appearing behind Vegeta, he lands his own kick, which sends the Saiyan Prince crashing down to the surface of Earth. It's then that Goku notices something odd. Even with the massive gap in their power levels, he realizes that he's not doing any real damage to his opposer. Vegeta scoffs, realizing that Goku's catching on to what he's doing, and Piccolo is forced to admit that he was wrong. He doesn't know how, but Vegeta's found a way to close the gap in power and deflect Goku's attacks. He comments that if he was a betting man, he would like to pick Vegeta to win, but failure isn't a word Goku's body can comprehend. He knows that he doesn't have the luxury of counting on Vegeta to win this fight, so there's a backup that has to work. Gohan needs to collect the Dragon Balls. Away from the fight, Gohan is shown flying, questioning where Goten and Trunks are, but he soon spots them. Trunks had brought the Dragon Radar, which was necessary to locate the Dragon Balls, which unfortunately are spread out around the globe. Gohan decides it's best if the three of them split up to go to different directions and meet back up later. Hilariously, Goten asks how he's going to find them without his phone, showing just how out of practice he is, but Gohan is quick to tell him to feel their ki. It's then that Trunks mentions that Piccolo told them to gather their Dragon Balls because something had happened to Goku, but he wouldn't tell them what exactly it was. However, Trunks can already feel what it is, as he'd been sensing Goku and his father clashing for a while, and it's much more fierce than their normal fights. Gohan tells him that it simply isn't the right time for a briefing, and the priority is to gather their Dragon Balls. The three then proceed to split up. We're shown Gohan's thoughts as he questions why exactly Goku had become so sadistic. With tears streaming down his face, he recalls the kindness his father once had. Of all people he'd ever met, his father was the purest of them all. What the hell happened to him? He proclaims that he'll do whatever he can to make it right, and we're sent back to the scene of the battle. Goku is shown questioning Vegeta about how long he plans to keep up the charade. He claims that he's fully aware his attacks haven't done any damage to his opposer. He's figured out what exactly Vegeta had been doing. In the instant before he attacks, Vegeta raises the level of the Kaio-ken in order to deal with the damage. But the major flaw, as Goku notes, is that Vegeta can't use this higher level without putting too much strain on his body. At the same time, the stamina it requires will drain him, so all he has to do is launch an onslaught and the Kaio-ken won't be an issue. To his shock, Vegeta doesn't seem at all concerned with his understanding of what he's been doing. He instead has a wide smirk on his face as he plans to take it up another level. So far, he'd been using the Kaio-ken with stage 4, but with this new combination, he'll surely win. Vegeta starts to collect more energy as he powers up, shocking Goku. As a new aura coats Vegeta, he powers up into the 5th stage of Super Saiyan with Kaio-ken on top. He calls it Super Kaio-ken times 20. We're then shown a power level comparison between Goku and Vegeta, and the latter is shown to have a power level that exceeds Goku's by 1 trillion. There's still hope for the universe, and Vegeta's the light. Chapter 3. With a shocked look on his face, Goku calls his new form Insanity, with Piccolo on the other hand being extremely impressed with Vegeta on being able to combine Kaio-ken times 20 with Super Saiyan. Vegeta proclaims that he's been waiting for this moment and takes his fighting stance. Still in shock, Goku questions how it's even possible for Vegeta to withstand the power of Kaio-ken times 20 on top of Super Saiyan, but his chain of thought is interrupted by the Saiyan Prince, who fires a blast and nearly connects. Vegeta appears behind him, kicking him in the face and trapping Goku while flying around him. In sudden bursts, Vegeta dashes towards him as to land multiple blows, but ultimately gets in front of Goku and fires a Big Bang attack which directly connects. Piccolo notes that Vegeta's energy is extremely explosive and that Goku is unable to withstand it. He questions what kind of hell Vegeta went through to access his power, but still, the Kaio-ken isn't meant to be used this way, so how long can Vegeta's body hold out? Goku flies out of the explosion he was caught in, realizing now that he can't pace himself because Vegeta's too strong to deal with. It's then that Vegeta appears above him once more, landing yet another attack which sends Goku crashing down. Similarly to what Vegeta had done earlier, Goku raised his ki to the maximum just before receiving that blow, which Vegeta knows. Goku uses instant transmission to get up to his opposer's level, attempting to punch him, but Vegeta dodges. He tries to kick Vegeta, but the Saiyan Prince dodges again. It appears that Vegeta goes in and out of the stage 5 version of his transformation when he isn't attacking, but he's shown powering up into it again when he attempts to block Goku's punch. Not only does he catch it, but he counters with an even more vigorous blow. Vegeta powers down, dashing towards Goku, and as he gets near, he increases the level of Kaio-ken. 17, 18, 19, and finally 20, landing a brutally thunderous punch to the face of Goku in one of the best panels of this manga. Vegeta doesn't give him a chance to recover, going behind him and charging an attack. The cocky Saiyan Prince simply says hey before commenting on how Goku won't be unscathed if he takes this head on. He fires a Kaio-ken Big Bang, which creates a monstrous explosion that seemingly takes Goku out and knocks Piccolo back. Piccolo says that the attack could have taken the Earth out, but even he recognizes that the Earth isn't the priority right now, defeating Goku is. He says that they'll have to undo the damage with Shenron and revive Goku alongside it, but it's then that Goku appears next to him, questioning Piccolo as to why he's getting ahead of himself. Shook by Goku's presence, Piccolo almost attempts to run, but pauses when Goku tells him to stay exactly where he is. He notes that he can't allow Vegeta to detect him yet, and that he used instant transmission to escape. He recognizes that Vegeta had finally become a match for him, and if it hadn't been for Piccolo, he may have lost an arm or maybe even a leg. Piccolo's annoyed to learn that he ruined Vegeta's effort, but as he prepares to fight Goku, the Saiyan simply says that he has no intention of fighting the Namekian. As Piccolo refers to him as Goku, he clarifies once more that he isn't Son Goku anymore. He's he's Kakarot. Attempting to get through to him, Piccolo starts to talk about Goku's past. Yes, he's a Saiyan, but he was raised on Earth. Doesn't he remember his sons? Gohan, Goten, did they mean nothing to him? Even though he's a Saiyan, first and foremost, he's an Earthling. He's Goku, the Saiyan that was raised on Earth. Goku starts to mutter his children's name as Piccolo realizes that he hasn't forgotten everything yet. He even remembers Vegeta and himself, which shows his personality switching between gentle and volatile. Piccolo says that there's still hope as he tells Goku to remember who he is, shouting at him to just wake up already. All of a sudden though, Goku comments on Gohan and Goten's immense potential, mentioning that if Gohan had the stomach for battle, he could have easily surpassed him. Piccolo's taken aback as Goku continues on about Gohan's immense potential. Power he could only dream of, but instead he decided to become a scholar. He shouts that he never wanted Gohan to become a worthless scholar anyways, he wanted him to become the best and surpass even himself. Pausing to power up into Super Saiyan, Goku adds on that it was just a dream, and the time for dreams has long passed. From the distance, Vegeta senses his energy as he realizes that Goku used instant transmission to dodge the attack and proceeds to fly towards his key signature. Goku damns himself for giving into his emotions and powering up, but he guesses he'll just have to make do, proceeding to power up further into Super Saiyan 2 and then 3. He turns to Piccolo, telling him to leave as he can't afford to waste more energy, but before leaving, Piccolo informs Goku of one simple truth. All that's left to gain for him is loneliness and misery. He flies away and Goku starts to plan how to best Vegeta's Super Kaio-ken. He figures out what Vegeta's been doing this whole time and notes that he should be able to surprise attack him after moving away, which leads him to conclude that he's figured out the flaws of Super Kaio-ken. Above Satan City, Gohan is shown flying as he notices a dragon radar beep. He lands on a building sensing his father's energy spike. Knowing he has to hurry, Gohan rushes around, running and jumping on and off buildings to find the Dragon Ball. He runs into a girl who has the ball and she tells him that he can't just take it from her. She proceeds to call Gohan a pervert before demanding that he bring the strongest man in the world to him if he wants the Dragon Ball. Taking this literally, Gohan starts to sweat. The strongest person is his father, who he can't risk being around anyone yet, so he outright tells her that it's Son Goku. Funnily enough, she was referring to Mr. Satan, who Gohan rushes to grab. Quickly landing, he hands him over as he takes the Dragon Ball and flies away in order to find the next one. We then see Goten, who had grabbed the 4-star Dragon Ball from his house, and with Chi-Chi yelling at him, he quickly runs away. Trunks is shown coming out of the ocean as they proclaim they managed to gather all 7 Dragon Balls. Gohan tells them that they'll need to report to Piccolo to find out what to do next, but it's then that Trunks says they need to know what in the world is going on before moving forward. Sorry to interrupt the video, but let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever wanted to see these videos sooner? Have you ever wanted to read my scripts? Have you ever wanted to just talk to me one-on-one in a call? Well, believe it or not, you can now. Join my Discord server today and consider signing up for Discord membership. If you can't be a member, don't worry about it. Join the Discord anyway to talk with other members of the community. Thank you for listening, and let's get back to the video. Goten asks why Trunks is being so moody, but unlike the younger Saiyan, Trunks had sensed their father's ki violently clashing, with Goku's in particular being full of killing intent. He knows that his father's changed drastically since the battle with Majin Buu, but against a Goku who has that killer instinct, what hope does Vegeta have? Gohan says that he doesn't know all the details either, but as for the Dragon Balls, Piccolo requested that they collect them for a plan that he's come up with. All they can do now is leave everything up to Piccolo and Vegeta. It's then that Trunks realizes what he had thought this whole time was true. Goku has gone over the deep end. Fearing for his father, Trunks' ki sparks slightly, but Gohan tells him to calm down as they don't want to attract Goku's attention. Gohan communicates with Piccolo using telepathy, telling him that they managed to gather their Dragon Balls, and Piccolo rushes to them in order to execute this unknown plan of his. We then see Goku and Vegeta taking their fighting stances as the conversation breaks out. Goku tells Vegeta that his Super Kaio-ken has been exposed, but Vegeta takes this as a bluff, powering up into Super Kaio-ken times 20 and charging towards Goku. Preparing himself, Goku says here it comes before moving away and attacking Vegeta from behind. Vegeta dodges, but Goku gets behind him again, launching a punch which Vegeta catches. Vegeta shown raising the levels of Kaio-ken as he endures multiple blows from Goku, but once he reaches the max state, Goku notices it and flies away once more, with Vegeta chasing after him. He quickly catches up, landing a thunderous blow to his face. Goku notes that his speed and power is unlike anything he's ever faced before, and that he proceeds to run away again. Vegeta then notes that Goku's catching on, but what's worse is he won't be able to hold this form for much longer. The two get to a standstill, with Goku explaining that he's figured it all out. Vegeta's always using at least Kaio-ken times 10, but through the use of flashy moves and speed, he made Goku think he was always in Kaio-ken times 20. This led the Saiyan to exert more energy than he really needed to. He goes on to further explain, telling Vegeta that he starts at 10 times, but slowly increases his power little by little while still managing to somehow suppress his ki, which tricked Goku. He tells Vegeta he's impressed, but it's too late now as it's time for him to perish. He's surprised to see the grin on Vegeta's face as he says, "Didn't I tell you, Kakarot? I did everything you did." It's then that Vegeta, shown with long hair and no eyebrows, powered up into Super Saiyan 3. That faint light in the dark that is Vegeta continues to shine brighter as the Saiyan Prince seeks to show his dominance. Chapter 4. Vegeta smirks at Goku, telling him that he had followed his training religiously day by day. Super Saiyan 3 was bound to come eventually, and Vegeta did indeed unlock it. On King Kai's planet, the Kai is shown commenting on this new development. He says that this isn't good at all, as Vegeta gave in to Goku's provocation. He believes that it's far too soon for Vegeta to be using this form already, as it's likely that his mastery over it is nowhere near the level of Goku's. The Kai questions what Vegeta's plan is because, as previously mentioned by Vegeta himself, he's no match for Goku at the same level of transformation. The only way for Vegeta to win now would be to use an enormous attack, as the Kaio-ken was simply meant to wear Goku down so that Vegeta could finish the job with Super Saiyan 3. The Kai commends Vegeta for doing an astounding job holding his own, as no one else could have proved to be a match for Goku. All they can do now is hope that Super Kaio-ken did its job and Goku caves in soon enough. We then cut to the wasteland where Gohan and the others are with the Dragon Balls. Goten questions why they aren't using the Dragon Balls even after all the trouble they went through to collect them in the first place, but Gohan simply says that he has no clue. But still, they need to put their trust in Piccolo. Goten remarks that he doesn't understand any of this, but if his father has truly gone mad, they should ask Shenron to fix him. It's then that Trunks chimes in, asking Goten if he had forgotten how the Dragon Balls work. Goten appears confused, but Trunks then reminds him that Shenron isn't almighty. His power can only grant the wishes in proportion to Dende's strength. Even if he had the power, he can't grant the wish if Goku doesn't want him to. Much like how Purunga wasn't able to bring Goku from Yardrat to Earth, he simply didn't want to do it. Trunks continues, saying that if they decide to make a wish like that at all, Goku would know that they have the Dragon Balls, which wouldn't be good for them anyway. Gohan concurs and follows up on what Trunks said, calling the Dragon Balls their trump card. He once again solidifies his trust in Piccolo, and if Vegeta falls, they're the last line of defense for the Earth, and if they fall, it's all over. Gohan says that Goku would go on to destroy Earth, which Goten can't believe. He calls it a stretch to think that their father would do something like that, but Gohan says the one thing that Goten can't refute. They aren't pure-blooded Saiyans. Goku and Vegeta are. Gohan recalls the times he's turned into a great ape, which filled him with an urge to destroy. None of them were raised as typical Saiyans, but deep in their blood lies the terrible secret to their strength: violence. He says that if he's able to fall to those urges while disliking fighting in general, imagine what their father, who loves the rush of battle, could do. Even Vegeta was the same, and it took him years after even meeting Bulma and having Trunks to achieve the level of calmness and peace he has right now. Gohan retells Goku's head-hitting story to Goten and Trunks, and after being fully convinced, Trunks tells Goten to simply accept the truth. Their greatest ally has become their fiercest enemy, and he doesn't know if his father is enough to beat him. Goten starts to raise his ki, telling them not to treat him like some child. He knows exactly what they're planning here. They want to kill Goku. It's then that we see Piccolo, who was in a deep state of thought, comment on Goku and Vegeta's fight. Their power levels keep fluctuating, which unfortunately leaves him with no clue of who has the upper hand currently. We then see Goku and Vegeta powered up into Super Saiyan 3 staring down each other. Vegeta makes a first move, starting to charge an attack with both his hands, but Goku moves in before he gets a chance to fire it, attempting to kick him. He circles the sand and then lands a thunderous kick from which Vegeta attempts to recover, but he's then met with another one. Goku tells him that this fight has to end. Now he's stronger and he's faster, and even though Vegeta's managed to prove his resilience, he's way out of his league now. He notes Vegeta's failed attempt at hoping to drop him out of Super Saiyan 3 through the use of Super Kaio-ken, to which Vegeta grunts. Goku then tells Vegeta what the prince had explained to him earlier. He can't beat him if they're both at the same stage of transformation. Vegeta tells Goku not to underestimate him, to which Goku smiles. He tells Vegeta that he's fine to continue this little game of theirs, but he'll make sure to make the prince's final moments agony. Being as sadistic as ever, he says that he might even let Bulma watch. Vegeta thinks to himself how much Goku's changed. With every moment passing, he's pushed deeper and deeper into his Saiyan identity. His persona is all but corrupted at this point, and he continues on to say the one thing we've all been thinking. The irony of this situation couldn't be any more severe. It's exactly like this that the two had first met, except their roles are reversed. Goku's the one trying to destroy Earth, and Vegeta may be the only thing standing in his way. The two take their iconic stances.
It's about to go down.
Before charging towards each other and exchanging in a barrage of attacks. Civilians on Earth start to feel the effects of this battle as the two shake Earth in the process, but unknown to them, their hero isn't there to save them. He's their doom. Goku sends Vegeta pummeling down into rocks as Vegeta curses at him. He can't believe that there's still such a gap between their powers, and it continues to be the running factor as Goku lands another punch and followed it up with yet another kick. Vegeta finally bounces back, landing a kick of his own to the face of his opponent, which leaves Goku impressed. He comments on Vegeta's lack of power being made up for with his tenacity, but Vegeta's confidence has drastically dropped. He knows that if the fight continues like this, he'll run out of stamina first. He reflects on the fight against Buu, the moment he called Goku the champion, the better fighter, the moment he admitted defeat. defeat. Goku made him reflect and confront a part of himself he didn't want to. It's because of Goku that he's grown this strong, and now that he has, it's time to free himself from Goku. Goku tells Vegeta that his energy reserves might be higher, but the gap in power is too much for that to matter. He asks Vegeta how he plans to close that bridge, which leads Vegeta to think harder. He knows what he lacks, the mindset he used to have, that killer instinct, the bloodthirsty Saiyan warrior that exists even in Gohan. When he traded his soul for power with Babidi, the urge was present more than ever. He needs to go back to that. Something changes inside of Vegeta as he tells the Saiyan that he's going to defeat him. He can spare no expense, as he will bathe his soul in darkness if that's what's necessary to put Goku in the ground. It's then that the Prince of Destruction awakens. Vegeta's energy spikes as Goku notes that his ki had changed, but in reality it was his state of mind. Vegeta tells him to start up round 2, but truth be told, we're on like round 8 at this point. Vegeta shouts that it's time to die as he rushes for Goku and lands a punch to his face. He tells Goku not to look away as Goku shouts at him to not get cocky. He catches Vegeta's punch, swinging him around before flinging him away. He starts to charge up an attack as he tells the Saiyan Prince to save a space for him in hell. With the attack almost reaching him, Vegeta stops himself and spreads his arms out, creating sort of a barrier which stops the blast in its track. Goku's initially angry, but it's then that he notices Vegeta out of breath. He knows that the barrier was quite a wasteful attempt, but his ki is slowly dwindling and there's nothing he can do about it. Refusing, Vegeta affirmingly says not yet before grinning. As the Prince charges for Goku once more, all of a sudden he puts 2 fingers on his head, shocking Goku as he uses the instant transmission, landing a thunderous blow to Goku's face. He hurdles him back with a ki before teleporting behind him and landing another brutal punch. Vegeta notes that he's rattled him as Goku uses his own instant transmission to come face to face with Vegeta. He punches the Saiyan Prince and damns him for going to yard rat. He finally grasps what Vegeta had been saying this whole time. He did everything Goku did. Grinning, Vegeta asks the Saiyan what he's going to do about it before calling this all pointless small talk. More importantly though, he asks Goku why he's holding back. Vegeta comes to the conclusion that a part of him still wants to protect Earth, but Goku scoffs at the idea. Vegeta then teases Goku, telling him to destroy the planet and everything on it. This leads to Goku calling him a very brave fool, asking him if he's gambling that he won't. Vegeta tells him that he doesn't care about the planet either, starting to charge an immense attack. Goku notes that it's some serious energy, but is he going to risk everything by putting the Earth in the firing line? This causes Vegeta to shout, "Watch me," with Goku appearing shocked at the lengths Vegeta's willing to go. All of a sudden, he's hit with another load of memories, remembering Grandpa Gohan, Roshi and Krillin, and his wife. All of a sudden, Goku jumps up away from the surface of the planet, telling Vegeta to fire up in the sky, which he gladly does. Goku's grazed by the attack, and Vegeta tells him that it's as he predicted. Goku chose to protect Earth. There's still some part of him left in there. Vegeta then says that it's a pity really. He would have much rather preferred to settle this battle with a sane version of Goku, but he doesn't have the luxury of trying to restore it. Just now, he expressed a fear for Earth's safety, which was opposite of what his Saiyan instinct would have had him do. Kakarot agrees, saying that Goku hadn't completely died inside him, but it's not too long now. Vegeta notes that sentimentality in a deathmatch is a weakness, which is precisely what caused Oob to lose in the first place. Vegeta proclaims that his honor as a Saiyan will cause him to have Goku lying broken at his feet by the time he's done. Goku takes a stand, saying that before he knew it, Vegeta managed to wear him down, as he can tell that they're now equal in strength. Commending Vegeta, he says that since this battle started, he's made every attempt at the Prince's life, but the Saiyan keeps reminding him that he's facing a strategic genius, not a punk. Goku finally ends the small talk, saying let's end this, with Vegeta telling him that he took the words right out of his mouth. The two power up, clashing midair, with Goku getting the leading punch, but Vegeta countering with his own just after. The two are sent flying back, having never felt more alive. Vegeta doesn't fear death as long as he takes Goku with him, and Goku says that this battle of strategy, technique, and psychological warfare has impressed him a great ton. Vegeta starts to charge a final flash, telling Goku to feel his wrath, as Goku proclaims that Vegeta will never win, as his victory is his and his alone. The two attacks are shown from an outer view of Earth as a spaceship lingers in space. In it is a masked figure whom we know very well. Bardock says that he doesn't like this, but he'll have to put on the mask once more. Chapter 5. The blast impact created by the two reaches even Piccolo and Gohan, as they all have to shield themselves, but in what appears to be the end, Goku's the only one left standing. He says it felt like an eternity locked in battle, but one move was enough to make all the difference, proceeding to call it a battle of survival. While analyzing the fight he just went through, Goku shockingly reveals that Vegeta wasn't actually utilizing instant transmission. It was just a ploy from him to keep the Saiyan distracted. Goku then powers down, having believed that the fight was well and done, but it's then that we hear something say 17, 18, 19. All of a sudden, Vegeta dashes towards Goku, powering up into Super Kaio-ken times 20. Seeing him coming, Goku gets a wide smile on his face, powering back up. While initially believing he could trick Goku with a surprise attack from behind, Vegeta's proven wrong when Goku says he knows his moves like an open book now. He kicks the Saiyan Prince and fires a point-blank blast that Vegeta isn't able to escape from. Goku then powers down again, saying, finally, it's done. He says that there's no way Vegeta could have dodged it, which means he was vaporized, and says that this inability to dodge was a result of the use of Kaio-ken. He powers down further now in base, saying that he has no energy left either, but he's not done. Gohan and the others are next on his hit list. All of a sudden, with his eyes wide as can be, Vegeta shouts that they aren't done yet, charging headfirst into Goku. The Saiyan is unable to move with all the battle damage he's endured, and this panel resembles the exact panel that Piccolo and Goku's first fight had showcased. Vegeta headbutts his opponent, and with a direct hit, the both of them fall to the floor. The Saiyan Prince says that he can't move a damn muscle, but to our dismay, Goku still manages to get up, although claiming that he's reached the point of total exhaustion. He walks over to Vegeta, who tells him to do whatever the hell he pleases, as the Prince tried his best, but Goku says he's gonna make it painless and quick as he needs time to recover. Vegeta grunts, having thought that he finally had the strength to beat his opposer, but as Goku's shown standing over him, the battle is finished. Before Goku can land the last blow, however, it's then that someone lands behind him, telling him to stop. It's Majin Buu. Goku quickly realizes that even though Buu isn't as strong as Kid Buu, he can easily wipe the floor with him at this point. Vegeta tells him to stay out of it, as he's accepted his fate, which is to die in battle. Smiling, Goku quickly tells Buu that he isn't needed, but grinning, Buu decides not to listen. He takes in a large amount of air and fires it back out, knocking Goku and Vegeta away. He then flies away himself and takes a piece out of him, which coats Vegeta, saving him from certain doom. Buu then eats that little piece as to protect Vegeta from further harm. Goku starts to sense for Majin Buu's ki, but even after finding him, he recognizes that there's no point. He doesn't have enough energy. All of a sudden, he raises his hand, starting to charge a spirit bomb. Goku starts to gather up energy as Buu notices this and recalls it being used in the fight they all had defeating his evil counterpart. Even though he's quite dumb, Buu knows that he'll die if he's hit with that, but he can't die just yet as he starts to fly faster and faster. He knows of a way to lose him, but it would result in Uba and Vegeta dying, so he decides against it just for now. Goku continues to charge it up, ultimately realizing that the spirit bomb is his last hope, but an important question is raised. Why exactly did Buu give him the time to charge it? He then figures it out, recalling the last words Vegeta had said. Buu is going to let Vegeta finish this fight because he saved Oob earlier. He knows now that Buu, Vegeta, and Oob are all together, and with this bomb he can take them all out in one swift attack. Far away, Buu unexpectedly lands on the ground and powers up, which Goku senses, but it's too late now as Buu won't get the chance to fight him. Goku knows that the size of the spirit bomb is too little and he needs more energy. Before, there were people willing to give it to him, but now there's no chance of that. He shouts that if they won't share the energy, he'll just take it. Piccolo shouts at everyone to quickly put up a ki shield as Gohan shouts for Goten to hurry up. Thinking to himself, Piccolo can sense the energy of majority of the life of the planet being drained, which is the exact opposite of how the spirit bomb is meant to be used. He wonders just how far Goku can fall, and even we don't know the answer to that yet. In the distance, we see some familiar faces. Tien and Chaozu had also managed to put up ki shields in time to avoid getting their energy stolen. But as they look down at the city, countless people are shown screaming for help as they all fall due to the lack of life force. Saddened by this, King Kai questions how Goku could ever use a spirit bomb like this. The people he was supposed to protect with that technique are now being destroyed because of it. Goku claims that it's almost ready, telling Buu to prepare himself as we see the Majin continue to power up even further. He finally deems it safe to split himself into pieces as hundreds of him are scattered throughout the area. He then falls flat on the ground, lowering his ki all the way. Goku tries to sense Buu, but what he senses is many different ki signatures all going in different directions. Goku knows that only one of them is real and that Buu can't hide, but to his shock, it's harder to find the real one than he thought. King Kai commends Buu for the genius idea, but of course Goku is still a massive threat, especially with the spirit bomb hovering over Earth. Although, as long as Vegeta lives, they still have a chance. King Kai notes that if Piccolo and the others can buy time, Vegeta can recover and finish what he started once and for all. Goku only has one opposer and he aims to end Vegeta now. Goku puts his fingers to his head, knowing that if Buu used even the tiniest amount of ki, he would sense a disturbance. All of a sudden, a dog appears where Buu was lying flat, and the Majin remembers B, his and Satan's dog. At the same time, Goku continues to suck the life out of everything living on Earth, with Piccolo noting that after he's done, Earth will be nothing but a barren husk. Goku's stealing of energy starts to have an effect on the dog, and Buu acts on emotion, rushing to heal him, but of course this allows Goku to teleport to him, calling it ironic that a puppy was a reason for the destruction of the universe. He screams at Buu to perish as he fires the dark spirit bomb, and accepting his fate, Buu knows he can't reflect the attack. He knows he's going to die. As his last act, he saves the dog, and as the spirit bomb overtakes him, his last thoughts are about his closest friend, Mr. Satan. Annoyed, Piccolo stares into the abyss, turning around and telling the others to summon Shenron at once. Terrified, King Kai yells that there's no hope. It's over. But all of a sudden, we notice what Buu had done. Under a hill, we see Oob and Vegeta balled up in a piece of him. When all seems lost, the Earth's mightiest heroes continue to find hope. Chapter 6. The Spirit Bomb disappears as Goku takes a sigh of relief. He notes that killing Buu this quickly was a great bonus for him even if he had to use his trump card to achieve it. Goku knows he's practically out of energy and is in need of rest, which leads him to ask himself if he should use the thing which we aren't made aware of yet. He decides against it as his instincts are telling him not to do so. So he just sits on the ground trying to sense for the other's keys. He knows that Gohan and the others are all in one place, which he assumes is likely the lookout. The dog that Buu had saved starts to bug Goku, and eventually the Saiyan is pushed to a point where he nearly obliterates it. But killing a dog is impossible even for a cold-hearted murderer. He flies away, but as he flies, he suddenly stops, noticing something strange. There's no sunlight. The only answer to this is that someone summoned Shenron, which leads him to believe that the others are planning something. Shenron looks down upon the Z fighters, asking him to state their 2 wishes, but everyone stands quietly. Gohan then shouts his wish, bring his father back to his original self, but Shenron can't grant the wish. Gohan argues with Shenron as to why. It's not like he's asking him to kill Goku, just to bring him back, but it's no use. While Gohan accepts that nothing can be done, Goten struggles to do so. He pleads with everyone, but no one else has hope of bringing Goku back at this point. It's too late. If Shenron can't fix him, no one can. Unfortunately, Goten's time to plea has resulted in what they all feared. Piccolo looks up, seeing their enemy, Son Goku. Goku lands with Gohan and Goten calling out to him as Piccolo gulps before walking up to him. Goku asks him what they plan to do with the Dragon Balls, but before the Namekian has a chance to answer, Goten interjects. He tells everyone to stop kidding around, but it's then that Piccolo decides that he's had enough. He practically tells Goten to shut the hell up as he's ill-equipped to handle the situation. He tells him to leave before his life is put in danger, but it's too late for that. Goku then starts to charge a blast in his hand as Piccolo shouts at the others to protect the Dragon Balls. Rushing to Goten, Piccolo grabs him and jumps away before he's caught in the explosion. Goten is left broken, finding this impossible to believe. Gohan and Trunks are shown carrying Shenron with their hands, with Goku concerned at the amount of energy he has left. He powers up into Super Saiyan, believing he can handle the half Saiyans and a Namekian as he steps forward. In a menacing panel, Goku asks the Z fighters who wishes to die first as Trunks steps up to ask the question that had been haunting him. Where is his father? A sweat drops on his face as he sees the smirk on Goku's, pleading with him to tell him that he didn't, but there was no amount of pleading that could change Goku's response. Luckily, Buu did a great job of hiding the 2 most valuable assets that they have. Trunks powers up into Super Saiyan, asking Goku for any logical reason for killing his father, but when Goku says he did it because he felt like it, the son of the prince charges towards him, filled with rage and revenge. Unfortunately, Goku is able to easily toy with him, showing just how much of a gap there is between them. Goku strikes Trunks with a punch as he cut to Piccolo. He knows they can leave Trunks to hold his own for now and sort this fit of rage out. Goku can't do anything to him just yet as he's too injured to do so. Trunks charges up a final flash, firing it towards Goku, who actually seems shook when it nears him, and as the dust clears, there's nothing to be seen. Of course, as Piccolo had imagined, Goku teleported away, so they start to search for his key. Piccolo then tells Shenron to return to the Dragon Balls for now and to not scatter them, as they may be useful later, but he doesn't have a useful wish just yet. We then see Goku, who had escaped to none other than King Kai's planet, somewhere the others won't be able to sense him no matter how hard they try. Using King Kai, Goku listens in on Piccolo's plan while recovering at the same time. A meaningless conversation later, King Kai wonders what Piccolo's next steps are, but nothing really happens. Goten and Trunks then proceed to question his judgment and assuming Goku's still alive. Stubborn as ever, the 2 are persistent, and Goten even wishes to summon Shenron to revive everyone, but as a result of this, Piccolo is struck with anger. How arrogant could the 2 of them be to assume that Goku died from an attack like that? Do they have any idea who they're talking about? He's the mightiest warrior in the known universe. Piccolo says enough, explaining his reasoning. Goku baited Trunks into using an attack so that he could use it as an excuse to teleport away, attempting to trick them at the same time, but the only thing he doesn't understand is why Goku has yet to destroy Earth. Trunks tells Goten that he plans to avenge his father the next time they see Goku, with Gohan worried about his brother who can't accept the situation. Trunks was raised by Vegeta, and he was trained by both Goku and Piccolo. Goten hasn't had any real training or combat experience. He will likely crack under the pressure, and it's up to him to protect his brother. Piccolo knows that Gohan is the best chance against Goku, but he worries that Gohan's gentle nature will inhibit him from doing what needs to be done. He curses himself for allowing to fall behind and being so damn weak. Some more time passes with Goku now having recovered, but what's worse is he receives a Zenkai Boost through the fight with Vegeta as he received a tremendous amount of injury. Goku then turns to King Kai, mentioning something that would otherwise be shocking. He recalls something that happened to him. He saw images of things that have never happened in his life but have happened. We see him recall these images in the form of the events of Dragon Ball Super as well as various other timelines. He comments on future Trunks' timeline, eventually coming to the conclusion that the fate of worlds can change depending on a single act or decision. This leads Goku to conclude that in this reality, the way he became had a reason. Returning to the task at hand, he calls Piccolo a patient bastard as he didn't fall for the disappearing act, but with his strength having returned, there's nothing they can do now. Powering up into Super Saiyan, he gets ready to go on the move. For a reason unknown to even himself, King Kai restores Goku's gi before questioning Goku about his visions as to stall more time, but to his shock, Goku didn't remember any of the conversation they just had. He tells the Kai to consider retirement before teleporting away. Hearing Goten and Trunks bicker, Piccolo turns around to tell him to shut the hell up, but it's then that he notices Goku appear in between them. Without even looking at him, Goku blasts Goten away before landing a brutal kick to Trunks. In one simple move, he took down 2 of the 4 that stand in his way. He turns to Gohan and Piccolo, telling them that Vegeta's attempt to kill him backfired. With him being pushed further than he had been in years, he's managed to achieve higher power. He stands tall, asking him if they are prepared for the beginning of the end. Chapter 7. Looking ahead at Piccolo and Gohan, Goku appears amazed by his own power. He says that there really is no limit for them as Saiyans, but unlike him, the others have gotten too accustomed to peace. He asks Gohan if he thinks he can go longer than the other 2 he just laid out with a single attack, which was followed by a direct challenge to his son for a one-on-one match for which he takes initiative, and quickly charges towards him, telling him not to look away at the start of the battle. Scared for Gohan, Piccolo pushes him away, which saves him from a blast Goku had sent. In the process, though, one of his arms is obliterated. Gohan apologizes, but it's not to worry as he can just grow it back. Piccolo turns around to face Goku, telling Gohan to understand what failure to win means. They're it. There is nothing else. Overhearing this, Goku claims that this world is forfeit. In a menacing shot, Goku holds Piccolo's severed arm and asks if he needs a hand. What's worse, as Piccolo notes, is that Goku didn't hesitate 1 second before moving to kill his own son. He goes on to tell Gohan that he has a plan, so he needs to buy some time. Goku throws Piccolo's arm at him, with Piccolo asking the evil that stood before him if he expects him to abandon all hope, but Goku counters with his own question. Do you expect to beat me with your strength? Gohan powers up, shouting he'll stop him, with Goku getting excited to finally challenge his son. Gohan can't help but be struck with fear as he turns to Piccolo, telling him to get Goten and Trunks out of here. He then asks his father if there's no room left for peaceful discussion, but Goku doesn't bother to answer. He tells Gohan to bring it on as the half Saiyan requests to move the battle to the sky as the 2 are shown flying up. Piccolo asks the question on everyone's mind. Can Gohan truly fight his father seriously? Can he do what needs to be done? Facing each other, Gohan tells his father he doesn't want to hurt him, but he's shook when Goku simply raises his hand, pointing it at him. He asks Gohan how he could have spawned such a weak son before saying die as he fires the blast. Quite a terrible fight put up by Gohan, I will say, as he just gets eliminated that quickly. Struck with anger and guilt, Piccolo shouts for Gohan as he calls himself too naive for letting Gohan fight. He stands up, regrowing his arm, and looks at Goten and Trunks. He realizes that Trunks is less hurt, so using telepathy, he wakes him up. He opens with the unfortunate news of Gohan's death, and Trunks continues to be filled with more and more rage as he seeks revenge. He asks if he's meant to just sit on his hands and run with his tail between his legs, but Piccolo simply says they don't have a choice. He and Goten are useless the way they are. They need to train. He doubts that even Goten could beat Goku at this point, and he himself stands no chance, which causes Trunks to inform Piccolo of what they all know. If he fights that, he'll die. Piccolo tells him that Tien and Chaozu are waiting for them, so when he falls, the last defense on Earth will be passed down to him and Goten. They need to live. He tries to reason with Trunks. They both know that picking a fight with him now is a ticket to the other world. Piccolo starts to take off his weighted gear, telling Trunks to go, but this causes the young Saiyan to ask how exactly Piccolo plans to fight. The Namekian hesitates to answer, not truly knowing. He says that Gotenks is their last best chance, so just go. Trunks asks if he plans to sacrifice himself, but Piccolo tells him that he misunderstands. With a very epic one-liner, Piccolo basically tells Trunks that he was once the shit. He was the god and the greatest threat to the Earth at the same time. He does have a plan, but they need to live in case it doesn't work. Piccolo powers up and flies to Goku, screaming at him for killing Gohan. Delusional as ever, Goku puts it in simple terms for him. Saiyans that do not fight have no reason to exist. They're a warrior race. Piccolo shouts that he's the one that shouldn't exist, proceeding to throw a punch, but Goku doesn't move. He doesn't even flinch. He simply tanks it. Piccolo lands a barrage of punches, but to his shock, Goku doesn't bother to block. He questions if Gohan meant nothing to him before telling Goku not to underestimate him as he fires a blast point blank range. Away from the fight, Trunks carries Goten, jumping around before he runs into Tien and Chaozu. The dust clears with Goku appearing unfazed. Piccolo knows he can't win this fight though, so all he's doing now is hoping to buy time. Condescendingly, Goku tells him they were once good friends, so he'll let Piccolo choose how he's killed. This comment causes Piccolo to call him a sadistic bastard, but playing it like a game, Goku tells him that he'll give him 10 seconds to run. Piccolo takes the opportunity, desperately trying to find a way to hide. There's gotta be something he can do. Some way he can come back from this. He reflects on his previous battles, everything he's learned, every battle he's fought. What did he learn? He has Kami's knowledge. What would he have done? What could possibly stop this menace? There's so many ways he can take this fight, but none of them are worth risking the Dragon Balls, which leads me to question what exactly he was thinking, but it's then that something hits him. Goku finishes his countdown, putting his fingers to his head before sensing a different key that catches his attention. Tien and Chaozu are shown waiting, and unlike with the Saiyans and Piccolo, we can very clearly see the age on them. Tien asks to be filled in on the situation as Trunks tells tells him what had happened to Goku to turn him into this monster they're running from. Trunks says that after today there may be no Earth left to protect as Goku lands right next to them, seeing Tien and Chaozu. He proclaims that he can now kill them all at once, starting to charge a blast in his hand. Trunks powers up into Super Saiyan, charging towards Goku, but the Saiyan catches his punch, kicking him back. He puts his hand in the face of the son of Vegeta, saying, "Be gone." All of a sudden, Goku's met with a thunderous kick from Piccolo that actually seems to do damage to him. Piccolo tells them to run as Tien tells Piccolo not to die. Goku and Piccolo charge towards each other, with Goku mockingly stopping, hoping to tank the blow as he had previously. Although for whatever reason, Piccolo connects and actually hurts him. Goku notes that he's a lot stronger than before, but his ki hasn't changed at all. What the hell is happening here? The narration then states that the battle for the fate of the Earth may have started to turn in our hero's favor, but it's unlikely as no one else managed to match the power of the evil Goku. Piccolo hopes to succeed where others failed, with Tien and Chaozu rushing Goten and Trunks to the lookout. Chapter 8. Goku's completely taken aback by the fact that Piccolo was able to inflict injury upon him with that particular strike. What was so different about it in comparison to the others? Goku thinks about the idea that Piccolo may have used the Kaio-ken technique, but it just doesn't add up, leaving Goku feeling even more confused about how Piccolo became so strong. But even with his confusion, Goku remains calm, knowing that his own power is greater than Piccolo's, and that the easiest way to resolve this situation is to defeat him quickly. Piccolo grins at Goku, claiming that he has something great to show him, but Goku is skeptical, calling it a bluff. Realizing Piccolo may be attempting to buy time, he decides to switch his target to Trunks instead. Before he can teleport away though, Piccolo presses on, challenging Goku's belief that he's bluffing before starting to power up, leading Goku to once again suspect the use of Kaio-ken. He's annoyed he's unable to inflict any damage on Piccolo while simultaneously taking immense damage from him at the same time. Goku mockingly asks the Namekian what his intentions are, to which Piccolo simply replies with a cold and determined to kill you. As Piccolo charges towards Goku, the Saiyan initially blocks the attack, but is then taken aback as he's hit with a devastating blow, leaving him to question how Piccolo could have possibly managed to inflict such damage. Despite Goku's efforts, Piccolo refuses to let up, suddenly appearing above him with a powerful double axe handle, but Goku narrowly dodges it. He tries to counterattack, but Piccolo manages to evade his strikes, and the two continue their intense close quarters battle. After exchanging blows evenly, they both pause, seemingly at a stalemate, with Goku feeling a strange sensation wash over him. He recalls that earlier he had the upper hand and could easily destroy Piccolo, but now he finds himself struggling to do any damage to the Namekian. Though Goku is sure that Piccolo isn't using the Kaio-ken, he can't shake the feeling that Piccolo has somehow closed the gap in their power difference in a mysterious way. He goes back to the moment he left to pursue Goten and Trunks, wondering what could have possibly happened during that time to cause such a drastic shift in the balance of power. Goku smirks at Piccolo and compliments him for providing such a challenging fight. However, at the same time, he can see that Piccolo is struggling to maintain his energy. He realizes that whatever he's doing is resulting in even more severe backlash than if he were using the Kaio-ken. But despite this, Goku has no shortage of energy and charges into another exchange with Piccolo. He taunts the Namekian, but Piccolo expertly dodges each and every one of Goku's attacks. With a final punch, Goku declares that this is the end, but to his surprise, Piccolo catches it and sends Goku flying back with a powerful kick to his face. Standing over Goku, Piccolo declares that we are buying time, but who is the we he's referring to? It's then revealed that Piccolo's plan was conjured up by Kami. We get a flashback to Piccolo struggling to come up with something to help him, but when he couldn't come up with anything, Kami appeared to him. Piccolo doesn't understand how he can see someone who is completely fused inside of him, but Kami explains that he's missing something and that their thoughts are one and the same. Kami leaves Piccolo with the words, "You'll understand." Piccolo calls out to Kami, still not fully comprehending, but he then has a vision of Raditz of all people. Realizing that Goku is going after Trunks, Piccolo decides to make a move, even if he puts him in danger. We are then taken aback to the moment when Piccolo killed Raditz, where he focused all of his energy into one point of his body, his fingertips, to use the special beam cannon. Piccolo has expanded upon this concept and used it in his fighting, focusing all his energy on specific parts of his body while leaving the rest of it exposed. Out of the rubble, Goku fires a blast at Piccolo, which he manages to avoid, and Piccolo remarks that this technique of his is much harder in practice than he had originally imagined it to be. We then see Tien and Chaozu flying and playing it safe to protect Goten and Trunks. Tien decides to take the longer way before telling them that they're speeding it up. Goten is passed out, but Trunks' ki is getting weaker by the minute. Overall, he had endured much more pain, but Tien believes that he'll make it through. Goku flies up to Piccolo, telling him about what he had noticed from the fight. While he shouldn't by any means be able to even put a scratch on him, somehow he's managed to find a way to attack him effectively. He asks Piccolo what exactly he's doing to temporarily amplify his combat strength, comparing it to the Kaio-ken. Bluffing, Piccolo tells him that he's mistaken, and in Otherworld, King Kai says that while he put up a good fight, Piccolo used up all of everything he could. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, he needs to buy more time. Piccolo lands yet another brutal punch to his opposer, with Goku clenching onto the hand he was struck with. Piccolo smiles at Goku's forgetfulness of him being a Namekian. He stretches out his arm and sends Goku back. In pain, Goku grabs onto his stomach, angered to have continuously been receiving hard blows. Piccolo knows that he can earn more time for the Earth, but the difference in power combined with him being worn out is making this a difficult task. Piccolo claims that Goku Goku has yet to realize that this technique is his power concentration. After another exchange that leaves Piccolo to be even more exhausted, he wonders why he can't initiate the final step of his strategy. Piccolo then starts to explain his power concentration technique, calling it similar to the Spectral Beam cannon. It condenses the energy he has to one point of the body at the time he needs it, whether that be at the time of defense or the time of attack. The only flaw of his technique is a fatal one. When all ki in his body focuses on one specific part, everything else is left defenseless. This means that if Goku were to figure this out, he would certainly lose. Goku raises his ki and fires a blast that forces Piccolo to block, but it appears to simply be masking the true attack, which comes in the form of a devastating blow from Goku. He concentrates all of his power to his eyes, which leads Goku to shout, "Got him," as he stops moving entirely. Moving faster, Goku comes in for a kick, for which Piccolo moves the power concentration to his arm. Goku's attack is blocked, but Piccolo still notices that he started to get overwhelmed. He flies away from Goku, hiding behind a large rock as to regain some energy before charging back into the fight. He calls the technique scrappy as it can't be used for long, but he still needs to buy more time. All of a sudden, we get a flashback to a few minutes before the fight where Tien informed Piccolo that Gohan was still alive. Piccolo flies back up, ready for round 2 as he tells Gohan to live. Away from the fight, under the hill, we see Uben Vegeta once more, and it's then that the Saiyan Prince opens his eyes. What more can the story entail? Well, we don't know. Unfortunately, the story is inconclusive, but that is the full story. Thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.